This is the recording that's going to help you guys do your 6.1.1 resource page. So at the top it says the diagrams below are not drawn to scale. So that means I can't just look at the picture and say, oh, I think they're congruent because they look like they are. Or I think those lines are equal because they look like they're the same length. You can't trust the drawing. You can only look at the markings or use your knowledge of equal angles or shared sides. So here are the directions. For each pair of triangles, you need to name facts that are given or marked in the diagram. Then I want you guys to name facts that you can justify from the diagram. So justifying means you know it's true, even though it's not marked. So stuff like vertical angles, alternate interior angles with parallel lines, reflexive property. Those are things that we know have to be true, even though it's not marked. Then you're going to determine if the two triangles are congruent. So remember, congruent triangles must be similar and have a side ratio of 1. Okay, another way of thinking about it is similar and they share a side or have the same side lengths. If you think they're congruent, you're going to write your congruence statement, such as triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ. If you think they're not congruent, you want to write there's not enough information or they're not congruent. So you would cross out the congruent statement and you would write down your thinking. So I would say not enough information, not congruent, or I don't know because there's not enough. So let's take a look at this example. When I look at this diagram, the first thing I notice are these markings. And I know those markings mean the sides are congruent. And so I'm going to go over to where it says given facts, and I'm going to write down LO, because that's what I call this side, right? You use your endpoints. LO is congruent to MN. The other thing I notice in the diagram is I've got angle markings that say those angles are equal. From now on, I want you guys to get used to using 3 letters when you talk about angles and name angles. So remember, using 3 letters means that I'm going to start with my endpoints. LO M would be that angle. N, M, O would be this angle. Okay, so LOM is congruent to NMO. And that goes under given facts because it's marked on the diagram. So I'm going to highlight that in blue, just like my diagram, so my brain makes a connection. There's nothing else marked in the diagram, so I get to think, okay, well, what else do I know? Well, I see the 2 triangles, right? One triangle's here, one triangle's here. They share a side. It's not marked that it's equal, but I know it has to be because it's the same side. So under justified, I'm going to write side MO is congruent to side MO because of the reflexive property. Okay. So I have to determine if the 2 triangles are congruent. Remember, congruent means they're similar and they have a side ratio of 1. These 2 triangles are similar. Not by angle, not by side, by side, angle, side. So I've got a side length here and here, angles right here and here, and then they share the side right there. So there's definitely similar triangles. And I know that they're congruent because they share a side length. So yeah, they're congruent. So I'm going to write triangle LMO is congruent to triangle NOM. Remember, the order of the letters can be different as long as the corresponding angles match up. So you guys could have written this in a different order as long as O and M were in the same spot and all that good stuff. Okay? So I want you guys to work through this resource page. The answers are on the whiteboard if you want to check. Otherwise, I'm going to make some videos that could help you. And we'll talk about it when we get back to class next block. But before you get started, let's go to letter C on the back. And I want you guys to cross out the numbers on letter C because they're actually a misprint and they're not going to help at all. So cross out all the side links. They're not going to help. All right, good luck. Good luck.